take a load off and grab a seat. Pull up a chair, prop up the feet. That's fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah. It's podcast time. All right. Let's talk about something tasty. And no, I'm not talking about your latest crush. I'm talking about Twisted Sisters Nutrition of Franklin, Kentucky. These ladies know how to mix up something sweet, sassy, and seriously satisfying. Whether it's a loaded tea that'll have you buzzing in all the right ways, or a protein shake that tastes way too good to be healthy. They've got flavor, they've got energy, and honey, they've got style. One sip and you'll be saying, "Where have you been all my life?" So if you're ready for a little flirtation with fitness, swing by Twisted Sisters Nutrition in Franklin. It's the healthiest relationship you'll ever fall for. Tell the girls at the counter you're with the FineBYMe podcast and get $1 off your order.
Fine by me.
Because you deserve it. Located at 104 South Main Street in beautiful Franklin, Kentucky.
Franklin, Kentucky.
Go ahead and go get you a tea. Or you can call and order to go at 270-532-0710. Go on, treat yourself. So they said that that was a permanent decision.
And that's why we should take women's voting rights away.
No way. Susan B. Anthony would hate that.
Look at what it's done to Josh.
So
It's just a shell of what he used to be.
y'all pointed the leg. So I'm on thyroid medication now. My hormones are all jacked up. So ever since I lost my leg,
That sounds about right.
I've slowly transitioned into a middle-aged housewife. Take care of the house and just cry all the time.
Even Longoria.
Yeah, it's me, dude. Desperate house. No, I'm not desperate, but I am. No, but they
That's an opinion.
When I first went to the hospital about my leg, they made me go. First of all, I went in excruciating pain, but they didn't tell me I was going to lose my whole leg at first. They just took a little piece of my foot, and they thought that was going to be enough. They cleaned out my arteries and stuff in my leg, but
Flush the system.
yeah, I had blockages, clots, and whatnot. But I remember, so they cut the part off my foot. They gave me a day's rest, pretty much just to kind of recoup from having half my foot cut off. And they had it wrapped up, so they didn't bother me that day. This was on a Sunday. So the next Monday, my doctor came in, my surgeon. He's like, "I got to look at your foot and see how it's healing." I said, "Okay." And they got to clean it too. And I was like, "How do they clean this? This is a wide open wound." Because he said whenever he cut into my foot, it didn't even bleed in the operating room.
Oh, wow.
And my clots were so bad, and it had gotten.
So at this point, did they cut off your whole foot, or was
this was just the piece of it? And he was trying to after he cleaned the artery out, because I had two clots behind my knee and my popliteal artery, and then I had a clot in my hip in my artery that goes down your leg. So he cleaned all that out, and I was in terrible pain. Of course, I was on a morphine pump too. Well, he came in that morning.
Hell yeah.
That month, you can only hit it once every 10 minutes. I was wearing that thing out. She come in, one of the nurses come in and she goes, "You hit that button 43 times in the past 20 minutes. And I said, "I know it won't work."
9 minutes 58, 9 minutes 59.
She said, "You can hit it 6 times in an hour." And I said, "Okay." So then I would kind of watch for every 10 minutes. But so he come in and this nurse
stopwatch on.
And this nurse, it was a male nurse, and I hadn't had a male nurse yet. I hadn't even seen a male nurse on that floor, and I was like, "What's this male nurse doing here?" I found out here in just a few minutes it was to hold me down while they cleaned this foot.
Oh, God.
Because he said, "You're not going to look at this." And I said, "Okay." Of course, I had to look.
Oh, yeah.
I looked down at my foot, and they pulled that bandage off. It looked like something out of The Walking Dead, dude. I knew then that my foot was fucked. I wasn't going to get to keep it. So then this nurse had this bottle of
Did you cry?
Oh, after they did this, so this nurse had this bottle of stuff that was cleared. He said, "This is going to feel really, really cold." I don't know what it was, but as soon as she poured it on my foot, it automatically cleanses your foot. It's not alcohol, but it was something else. But it felt like it was negative 1,000 degrees.
Wasn't it hydrogen peroxide or something?
No, it was something I'd never seen or heard of before. But it was this, I guess, to
What are they keeping from us?
Yeah, what are they?
Could have been formaldehyde for all I know. But dude, it was on open tissue. Like it was just like bone and tissue
Yeah.
there. Because he didn't even have to like stitch it up because it wasn't even bleeding yet.
Huh.
Like so he said, all right. So they like bandaged it back up. He-Man got done handling me and holding me down because I could not get up. I was just like this. He was holding me down, dude. And I never felt so emasculated in my life.
Was he whispering in your ear?
I was like, if this was because it was like fight or flight. I was like, I know now that I'm done. If I ever really, they could just hold me down. But anyway, so like 3 or 4 hours.
One man.
Well, he had me down like he was standing up. I mean, you know what I mean.
Straddling you.
No,
I
he
got
had
it.
to do
Now I see
dick
it.
in my face.
Yeah.
The
69 position.
I was like, please no. I was so like 3 or 4 hours later, these 2 elderly ladies come in. Like they looked like somebody from like The Handmaid's Tale. Like they had like different color like scrubs on and everything. Well, they had this machine and they had these
Funny
probes.
if it was nuns coming in there to like wave
My
your
last,
life.
well, they did. There was a preacher that come in and did that too. He gave me a book and everything about the afterlife, and I said, "Dude, I don't need to see this,
Yeah, golly.
just in case." But yeah, so these 2 women come in and they sit on the table and they're talking to me. Well, one of them's talking to me while the other one's getting this machine out, and she's hooking these like, it's almost like they were like clear tubes that like ran to these probes, and what it was is it checked your oxygen levels. Like in your like, I guess like these probes, like when she put on my skin, it would tell how much oxygen levels were like at the surface of the skin.
Yeah.
So like she started at my at my foot, and it was like 2 or 3, like super low, and they're like, oh, so they moved up to like my shin, and it was like 22, and they got up to like my knee, and it was like 33, and then they got up to here, and it was like 98, and then she took a marker and just marked it. And didn't say nothing else. They didn't say nothing else. Have a good day.
If she just wrote "cut here."
Have a good day. Put some like one of those stickers that has like some scissors on it.
Well, it's just like those dotted lines, and then it has the scissors like on the other end of
She
it.
did, but she put a line across it and put a check mark on it right above it, and I was like, "Fuck,
We're taking it here."
Yeah.
This end's good.
So I was like, all right. So then they left, and I was by myself because I was thankful I had a lot of visitors, dude, but I was just overwhelmed, and I was exhausted. I was in pain.
Yeah.
So I told my mom, I was like, will you go tell the nurses station that from like 4 to 7, I don't want any visitors. I was like, tell them I appreciate them coming, but if they want to hang around, I'll see them later. But I just need some time just to kind of like rest.
Yeah.
So while they were doing that, like this nurse come in, dude, and she hooked me up to like 7 different IVs and like had all these ports in me. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going into surgery tomorrow.
Yeah.
Still hadn't seen a doctor. Nobody had told me nothing. So like the night goes by. The doctor finally comes in at like 9 o'clock, and he's like, so we got the results about your leg and stuff. We got some bad news. We're going to have to take your leg tomorrow. Well, so I kind of figured that. And I was like, I can't wait to be a pirate for Halloween or say some shit like that. Defensive mode, you
Yeah.
just kind of like, all right, whatever. He walked out of the
I've
room.
always thought that amputees were hot.
Yeah, yeah, right. So I always wanted to be one.
Yeah.
So, but he's like, all right. He tried to tell
whatever,
me,
dude.
he was like, don't like blame like anybody for this. It's not really your fault. You could have went to the doctor. Just don't like dwell on it. You're still young, whatever.
Yeah.
So he was like, but it's it could be pretty like fatal if I get in there, and something happens. I'm cutting through your femur. You know what I mean? Whatever. So I was like, all right. But he's like, I've done some of these before. It's fine. So like that night, like I'm like
a handful.
A couple of them.
Yeah. So like that night, like I'm like chilling. People are coming to see me and stuff. And I guess it hadn't hit me yet. Well, like the next day, dude, I'm supposed to have surgery at 7 o'clock in the morning. So like I can't eat after midnight, none of this shit. So I finally get some rest. Well, I wake up at 7, think I'm gonna get prepped for surgery, and nothing. Like nobody comes in. Like they bring me like my medicine and stuff. I'm like, why y'all bringing me medicine? I'm about to have surgery. Still ain't told me shit. Well, apparently there was like a car wreck or something that night, and all the ORs were full. And then they had to have 2 operating rooms for my surgery because they had to have like, I guess like different teams and shit to do stuff. Like, I guess where they had to cut through bone, like a orthopedic surgeon and stuff like that. So dude, I didn't have surgery until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they done took me off morphine and everything. So I'm just sitting in bed like, please cut this leg off.
Yeah.
Because dude, it's like throbbing. It's done turning colors and shit.
Oh God.
Yeah. So like I went to surgery, dude, and they did a block in my back, in my spine, and I was like, what is that for? And the anesthesiologist said, the anesthesia is to keep you asleep. He said, this spinal block is to save your life. He said, because even if you're asleep, he said, when they start cutting through that leg, he goes, your brain's going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And he said, so you got to make sure you can't feel nothing. He goes, so let me know when you can not feel nothing. So he gave me like my shot, and I didn't feel like nothing probably to like right here. And I was like, I feel it to about right here. He goes, no, but you got to do more than that. He goes, I want you to like pee your pants. He goes, I want you to not be able to feel yourself peeing.
God.
He goes, I need you like that numb to this. So I couldn't feel shit from my waist. It's like, are they going to cut off both of my legs? You know, I was like, because I couldn't feel nothing. I'm like, because I was like,
hope they don't confuse my dick for my leg.
they weren't going to do that.
We were safe.
So like, they moved me to the operating table, and that's the last thing I remember. And I woke up, dude, and I was like, sitting there, like my leg was gone, and I was like thinking it probably took like 6 hours. And I was like, how long was I under? They were like an hour and a half. They said he was done in like 45 minutes. I said, this motherfucker, he cut my leg off in 45 minutes and stitched me up.
In and out. He had a
In
tea
and out,
time.
dude.
Yeah,
He had to get
to.
well, he was like the football coach of FCA up in Bowling Green, and I guess he had to get to practice or something. 'Cause he was gone. He was like, "Get me back tomorrow to see you." And I was like, "All right." But yeah, I was like 45 minutes. I guess you just don't think about it.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's all it was, and that's the story of me losing my leg.
that's crazy, dude.
Not as detailed, but
And welcome to Fine by Me.
Boom.
Wow.
boom.
Yep.
Now let's have fun.
That's great. You talking about having somebody? I think I've told this story before, but whenever you were talking about having to be held down, whenever I've told the story about I had sinoplasty or whatever, like had and it broke free or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
And it was just bleeding everywhere.
That's so scary, dude.
But,
I'd have a heart attack right there. Just
but whenever I went to the ER, they tried to solder it like while I was. I guess like reattach, cauterize it. Cauterize it.
Burn
yeah,
it,
that's the word
it.
I was looking for. They tried to do it with like these little cotton swab looking things. Apparently,
like stuff it up there and pack it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It looked just like ear swabs.
Oh,
but
Q-tips.
like he cracked it and then like put it in there, and he was like, "This ain't doing nothing. We gotta go to the ER." And
probably had like some kind of like anticoagulatory shit or something.
It smelled like it was burning whenever.
Some kind of chemical reaction, like a couple
Stop the
chemicals
blood.
mixing.
Yeah, it smelled like smoke almost, like those little things did. Either way, he was like,
that was your skin burning.
Probably
your brain on fire.
Yeah, probably. But he was like, you're gonna have to meet me at the ER. So I was like, because we're gonna have to actually use like a cauterizing machine.
Yeah.
And they had two big dudes hold me down
They
while
said, bring in Mike and Jack.
Yeah.
while
We got a big and
Bring
boys.
in Lamont and Terry.
Yeah.
And I mean, I swear, the thing that he was sticking into my nose, like he was sticking it straight in and just
Like he was welding.
like my whole head was just like
That shit can kill you. Like you can bleed out from that though, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's main arteries right
That's
back
what I was
in
like.
there.
Your optical nerves and all that
Yeah.
shit's in there.
But yeah, he had those two dudes holding me down because I just couldn't. Like it was the most pain I've ever felt in my life. It was it was almost like it's got to be something similar to like what an electric chair feels like, because it felt like I was just being like fucking electrocuted like crazy.
Shoot.
I was like crying like big ass alligator tears. Like my ex at the time, or my ex-wife at the time, she was like, I have never seen anybody cry like that, and I've definitely. Never.
She left you.
Yeah. And she was like, I've definitely.
This little boy.
She was like, I've definitely never seen you cry
That
like
reminds me
that.
of that Tim Robinson bit whenever he like goes up on stage for that magician.
Yeah.
And he gets like, goes along and she's like all quiet on the way home and he don't think nothing of it. And they get to the bedroom and like she rolls over like in haste. And he turns the light. He's like, all right, good night, love you. And she's like, I can't believe that you just sat there and let him do that to you. And he's like,
Oh, yeah.
He's like, do what? He's like, he pulled your little boy penis out and jerked you off like a little boy. She's like, what are you talking about? He made you look like a fool. He's like, he's a magician.
We'll stay together for the kids.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I will not respect you, and I'll make sure they don't either. I'm like, God. He's like, what? And he goes back and confronts him.
I make more money than you.
He raises his hand. You ruined my life.
But yeah, I never want that to happen again. That's for freaking sure, dude.
Whenever I lost my leg, because like it started out as like a boo-boo on my pinky toe, right?
Yeah.
Like my work boot like rubbed a blister and it wouldn't heal because of the blood clot.
Yeah.
I remember after I lost my leg, I remember my uncle told me, he was like, why'd you let it get that bad? And I was like, dude, you know how it is. He was like, no. He's like, I don't. He goes, you could barely walk. He goes, had that thing been on your dick? He goes, you wouldn't wait that long to go to the doctor. He's right.
Yeah, he's right for sure.
100% right that day. You've been calling, say, I gotta get to the fucking doctor.
I ain't
dude.
losing it.
That's what he said. He goes, that thing been on your dick.
Yeah.
You'd have went right to the doctor. He said you'd have kept your damn leg.
At least to the free clinic.
Right. Yeah.
At least we got checked out real quick.
So
The
somebody
next
would
town
have
over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put it off. I remember laughing at that so hard because it's so true. Like,
Hey, I got a question. Can your leg, like, can it go like 360? Like your leg?
this?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Not that. His
Like,
nub?
you know, your leg, like your prosthetic, can it go
Yeah,
up?
we want to see how mobile it is. And then, can you spin it?
Spinning it is what I'm wondering.
Oh, like a ramp?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that function.
Oh,
No.
it's-
I'm not meaning that. Like, I'm meaning like it would have the joint there to spin it around.
Like a pivot.
Yeah, reason
it
I,
only goes 180 degrees.
I was gonna say reason I say that is because I sent you a reel of
Yeah,
this.
it's like to the side. See, like there's like no side to side.
Well, I sent you a reel of this dude at Disneyland or World or whatever,
Yeah.
and he walked up to some stormtroopers and like pulls his leg up, and then he makes it go like all the way this way.
Because he still has his knee.
I don't know. I didn't
Yeah,
look
I'd
that
say that's
hard.
probably what it is.
Oh.
Those guys, I don't know. I can't
There's
do
that
that.
one.
It looks
Rocket
You're
slick.
talking like
Legion.
take it up and then like twist it up.
Can't nobody hear you with a microphone next to your wiener?
So like you're talking like twist my mouth, twist it up like this, like you could your leg, like you could bend your real leg up.
I mean, this is as far,
As
as I'm
you can
going.
go. Yeah, I
but
can't
I'm,
like twist it up or nothing.
yeah, I'm
This
talking
is
about
it.
like it would go up here,
No,
like
it
your
wouldn't
yeah.
do that.
It looked wild. It was like
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
it was like white, and like it looked a lot cooler than yours. So
I'm supposed to be getting a new one, dude. It's such a pain in the
I was gonna
ass.
say we've been saying that for
6
2
weeks.
months.
I have to go Thursday and get another scan
I'm
done.
gonna make him one day.
I just need really just the top part because I'm becoming a chunky boy. So it's like trying to stick a daggum
I like you thick.
10 pounds of taters in a 2-pound sack. You know?
Yep.
Busting out the seams.
I am. Dude. It's like biscuits up top.
Yeah, you got some cleavage up there.
Whenever I was
Falling.
getting my last scan, he had to measure me, like actually like physically measure me. Like this next thing I'm doing, like I'll go in there and he'll put like these little sensors all over my residual limb, my nubbin,
Yeah.
and I'll lay on my side and he'll take like this 3D machine and it'll scan it and it'll like make like this 3D rendering. But first, he had to measure it by hand, like the old school way. So like that's how they get it accurate,
Yeah.
by doing both. And of course, I went and I know, like having it for like 6 years now, to wear like basketball shorts because they're going to be down there working on shit or whatever.
Yeah.
I wore basketball shorts with like the shittiest pair of underwear I got. So like all my shit's just hanging there, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got to do some measurements real quick. And, you know, he does this every day. And he's
Yeah.
an older guy. Dude, I bet the back of his hand hit my wiener like 40 times. Like, he just rough as hell. Like, rough. And I know he had to feel it. I was like, dude, what are you doing? They're punching me in the dick over and over and over. I was like, dude, it's trying to shrink up inside of me. It still got scared. I wasn't even worried about it getting hard. I was just worried about him hurting me. Didn't even feel good. Jeez, I gotta get a few eating almonds the whole time,
There's
just
a,
spitting almonds everywhere. Yeah.
There's a Taylor.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like, are you serious? Like, I don't take you serious right
He's
now.
snacking.
Yeah, dude. He eats like nuts and shit the whole time he's talking. He spits shit everywhere.
Mhm.
He's a
He
busy
don't give a
man.
fuck.
He ain't got time to stop.
He's from
on the-
Scottsville. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Wes knows him.
let's
Okay.
see. Oh. There's a tailor that's popular on TikTok. Like, he tailors suits and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty
And he,
sick.
like, really gets in there when he's measuring.
Oh, I
dudes
guess
and
you have
stuff.
to,
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's been showcased on your mom's house.
Yeah, I know who you're
Yeah,
talking about.
but,
Yeah.
boy, he gets in there.
Have
and
you
make-
seen the dude that's like the etiquette guy, like the English guy? It's like about like dinner manners and like
Yeah.
etiquette and stuff. YMH was talking about that one day, and he was like, "Look at the comments on this thing." And this dude's like talking about setting it like your family's like holiday dinner, like how you act, like how you hold silverware or whatever. Top comment said, "Do you do this while you're getting a foot job under the table?" And it had like 4,300 like reacts. And I was like, "This is great." I bet he loves trying to help people and see some American say, "Is it nice when you're getting a foot job under the table?" From your family? Like he says it's family dinner.
Golly.
People
Yeah,
are-
I've seen it. It's been a long time since I've seen that dude. But yeah, he like shows how to put forks and shit in the right place
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. We ain't doing none of that.
Did we ever have like any etiquette classes like in elementary school? I want to say we hit on it a little bit, like Thanksgiving time,
Home
maybe.
economics, maybe.
Yeah, maybe like
We still had home ec when I was in middle school.
We had home ec.
had, like, a
I didn't
pillow.
take it, but
we had to sew a pillow.
Well, I made a pillow. I made a Mustang.
I made a Wildcat pillow.
Ooh, I bet those were gay.
It was all right. It was red and blue.
You still have it?
No, I burned up in my mom's house fire with all my other
Oh,
childhood
rip.
memories,
Thank goodness.
with everything else in my life.
Hmm.
It's easy to move though. I ain't gotta carry that shit with me the rest of my life.
yeah.
You know,
I was gonna say I have a bunch of stuff that I should just get rid of.
who needs
but-
pictures anyway? You know?
Yeah,
Who needs pictures?
memories.
I got them all up here.
Yeah.
Oh,
At least the
man.
ones you want to remember, you know, because your brain will protect you from the shit you don't want to remember.
That's true. That's true.
So many cigarettes were smoked in that trailer that I mean, I feel like that was a fitting way for it to go.
I remember when my mom's trailer burned down. One of my best friends, JD's a firefighter, and of course we were over. He was there fighting the fire,
Yeah.
and he knew the house, so he knew like where everything was. And he remembered him coming out, dude. My mom had like a old like metal Maxwell House coffee can, like the old school ones, and it was full of like change, you know, like years of change. And he said, Harrington, you think your mom wants this molten pile of peas? And it was like just all stuck together. He was holding it in his hand. Just I was like, no. He was like, man, this is pretty cool.
Take it to the scrapyard next
Yeah,
week.
dude.
Yeah.
It was like a conglomerate of all this coins melted together. I was like, how hot did it get in there?
Yeah, I mean,
The house fires get pretty fucking
That might
hot.
have been $40 worth of nickel and copper.
I remember seeing like, golly.
Yeah,
He said it was
that's
right by
wild.
the ashtray.
They got those fire investigating dogs that can sniff out like
accelerants.
accelerants.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty. I bet you are, aren't you? That's your business, right?
Yeah,
Man, I
I
had
ain't never seen anybody use a dog yet, but
What they have machines that they can use? Like, what is the extent of like a fire investigation? Like, is there like just a dude that goes out and looks at it, or
yeah. So to not be biased, we hire like a third party company.
like an insurance adjuster?
Well, I mean, generally these people, the company that we use most is Remkus, and they're in basically all the states. And I've been to one of their things. They do like presentations at the Nashville Fire Department.
Yeah.
They'll set up like little house scenes and show you how easily it is that house fires start.
Yeah,
Like,
curtains go
Yeah,
up.
curtains leaving. I think one of them was leaving like the stove on and stuff, and then how difficult.
curling iron.
Yeah, how difficult it actually is to put that stuff out. It doesn't you don't just put water on it and it's out. Like it takes a lot of water.
There's
you know?
embers in there.
Yeah, that's
boy.
why they stay there after and just keep putting water on the shit.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
sure it's all the way out.
But so no, I don't go out and look at stuff. We hire a dude and he goes out there. Man, whenever they do, they take a million pictures and they'll like say it started here, and then they'll have arrows like going and it spread this
where
way
they
and then it
went.
spread this way and then it spread that
It's
way.
very methodical, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah, I mean, and the people that are those investigators are usually like ex-fire chiefs or were a firefighter for 30 years or something like
My
that.
friend
you know?
that's an investigator in Bowling Green, he was ready to retire, but his investigating dog still had 5 years left. So he stayed on another 5 years so that the dog could retire and he could keep it
Oh, that's
when
cool.
they were done.
Pretty
yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna stay for Millie. I said, "Aw, you sweetheart. You
Have-
sweetheart.
Have y'all ever had any close calls with like fire, like yourself, like had to put a fire out or anything? I've never had any like dealings with fires.
When
before.
I worked at the DeWeese Horse Barn, they had just opened Steeplechase Liquor up here. And all those boxes that the liquor came in, like that first delivery, you know, we had to fill up a whole store.
Yeah,
So they were like, put it in the dumpster at the horse farm and burn it.
yeah,
Because they didn't want to pay $350 for a new dumpster.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know that somebody had cleaned out one of the rental houses and had a bunch of like cleaning chemical and stuff in the bottom of the dumpster.
Oh, gosh.
So when we lit that cardboard, dude, it exploded. It blew holes in the side of that steel dumpster.
Holy shit!
It blew the back windows. Tanner DeWeese was standing in the back of the truck lighting the cardboard,
Holy.
and it blew the windows out. Gave him second-degree burns.
I don't mean to
Singed all
laugh.
of his hair.
I don't mean to
He
laugh.
didn't have eyebrows anymore.
I could just see him after, like, what the fuck? It's like kind of a movie.
Thank God he fell into the bed of the truck, and I had it in drive. I took off.
Holy,
People a quarter mile away driving down Scottsville Road slammed on the brakes, turned around, and pulled in because they saw the mushroom.
It's explosion.
And they were like, "What the fuck was that? Y'all need help!"
The Russians.
We were out. I was out stomping cardboard that were in the middle of the crop, like had blown 100 feet away from and I was just stomping fires out in the middle of this crop field.
God bless.
Yeah.
Golly.
It's awesome.
No,
And she got mad at us. You told us to burn it, you son of a
I know,
bitch.
you about killed us, man. You about killed everybody over here.
You about killed the horses.
Yeah,
Golly.
jeez. Yeah, I've never yet, knock on wood, been involved in anything like that or had any doings or nothing like that.
I've definitely played with fire.
Oh,
a bunch.
yeah. I mean, I've played
And
with
probably a little bit too much a few times, but
I've never
I don't
had to
think it
use
ever
a-
got out of control enough for me to be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
You ever had to use a fire extinguisher?
Yeah, on my blue antique truck.
Oh, your old
Tried to
Chevy?
catch on fire in the KFC parking lot. I had to knock on the drive-through window to get their fire
Holy
extinguisher.
shit, dude.
Yeah. The
Don't put it
fuel-
out with your boots,
The
Ted.
fuel going into the carburetor, it had leaked and filled up, and then the
Oh.
spark plugs
Ignited it.
ignited it. Yeah.
Dang.
So they handed me a fire extinguisher through the drive-through window. I also may or may not have been involved in a pipe bomb scandal in high school.
Mm.
We didn't know there were pipe bombs until the cops came knocking on our door.
It's a,
We
hey.
just thought we were making big firecrackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 inches long, 2 inches around.
Just like
Just-
my
Full of black powder, bro.
Yeah.
and marbles,
Size big firecracker.
ball bearings,
Yeah,
yeah, but ball bearings and shrapnel and stuff.
ball bearings and
Nails.
thumbtacks.
yeah, nails.
Jesus.
Rusty nails.
We're about. This is not going to be on YouTube. This video.
Well, I was gonna say this sounds like. Did you get this idea from like the Anarchist Cookbook or whatever? Do you remember? Do y'all ever get one of those?
I never had a copy of it. I heard people talk about it. I've never seen it. Is it a real thing?
This son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
had
a
like
real
a.
thing?
I had a digital version of
Yeah.
it. I've never seen like what a real.
They don't have it at the library or nothing.
Oh yeah, no. But I mean, the digital version that I had, I mean, it was all like in folders, and it would say like explosives or like
Drugs.
drugs or whatever, and like you
Gardening,
click on that folder, and then it would have another list of
schematics
things,
of things to do. Jeez.
Yeah, teach you,
Banned pesticides.
teach you how to make napalm and whatnot.
Yeah,
We do not
Agent Orange.
condone any of that behavior.
Yeah, no.
We're just having a simple conversation.
Yeah, dude. Does that even exist?
3 burnouts past their prime, having a simple conversation.
Yeah. I don't even know. Have we even had a prime?
I don't know.
I-
But speaking of burning out, DUBBY Energy presents Get Your Juice On.
Juice.
No sugar, no crash, just vibes. You don't need wings, you need stamina. DUBBY isn't for the faint of heart. It's for the go-getters, the late-night creators, the early morning slayers, the ones who work hard and play even harder. Zero jitters, zero sugar, all natural, from ingredients that could seduce a sloth into cardio. Whether you're gaming, grinding, lifting, or doing whatever you do in that dimly lit room with candles and slow R&B playing, DUBBY keeps you going longer, harder, stronger. DUBBY, the only thing that hits you harder than you do.
It's like a Kanye song for a minute.
Want a taste?
Yeah.
Stronger banner, faster,
Stronger. Bam, bam,
That
easy.
on
Is
you.
use promo code FineBYME, all caps. And
Or
get
not.
10% off your order. Or not.
Yeah.
Get W or don't. W,
Yeah.
W
I
dot
was just
GG.
being the capitalized.
Yeah, or that too. I mean what I said
Order
too.
at w.gg.
I got some more today.
Yeah.
The Japanese soda flavor.
They're absolutely breaking our balls on this. We're not getting nothing. We do it for free. We're not getting a damn thing. They say, well, why do you do it? Fine by me. We do it because we love you. That's why we do
Out of the
it.
goodness of our heart.
Out of the goodness of our heart.
Yes.
I don't make nothing after we pay the scientists, the researchers, the promotional teams. They say, well, why you do it? We do it for you. W.gg, fine by me. 10%
It's
off.
all tax exempt.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One day we'll have an LLC, and I'll just start writing this stuff off.
Yeah.
Write it off, write it off.
Writing what off?
What else y'all been up to? What'd you do this weekend? Memorial Day?
Memorial
Y'all,
Day. Saturday we had our last T-ball game, medallion ceremony.
Medallion,
Yeah.
medallions like turkey.
Medal doesn't sound.
I
right
love
coming out of my
turkey
mouth.
medallions, like the little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Y'all remember Boston Market?
Mm-hmm.
They get turkey medallions.
I've never been there.
I got
and
food
then
poisoning
We
there.
went to a campground and hung out with some fun families.
Here local,
Over
Barron River.
Barron River.
Nah,
Went to a
Valley's
place called
Point?
Tailwater.
Tailwater's a good one.
Tailwater. Yes, sir.
I bet it's up.
Sunday, my nephew graduated, and then
Congrats.
I had a hosting gig at the project.
Do you want to give a
graduation.
shout out to your nephew that just graduated?
Oh, Grant, the joy of my life, the light of my world, Nana's favorite grandson. Congratulations! Is that something like you were mentioning?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. But for the fourth year in a row, I hosted the Womanless Fashion Show at Project Graduation, and it was a good time. Yeah,
It's project graduation. I think we might have went over this. Is it like an up all night? They stay at the high school all night?
It's a lock-in, and they raise
Yeah.
a bunch of money to give out to the seniors, and like people donate cars, and it's to help keep the graduates from like going out and drinking and
Yeah, we did it
Yeah,
in
the
Scottsville. We
night
just
after.
called it up all night, and we played games, and we won.
super creative.
Do you remember years ago, like, wasn't there a person like stole some money or something from that organization here in town?
Oh, I don't know. I know a bunch of like the baseball boosters and the quarter pack club for the football team. I've
Something
heard of
happened
those.
with that. Yeah,
The cheerleading.
I'm sure it happens
fundraisers.
everywhere. Like,
yeah.
anytime there's money involved,
Yeah.
there's probably the risk of people.
The
Somebody's-
best of the best people you could ever imagine.
Right.
That you're alone in a room and there's $15,000 and you're like,
Yeah,
nobody's gonna miss
dude.
five.
I mean,
they won't even know.
I got an
Yeah.
$8,000 credit card statement that's
Yeah.
well overdue.
Yeah.
I just need 10.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
They're
five.
gonna take the car unless I pay these last 3 months back real quick.
Yeah,
I've got to have it in by
yeah. I was
tomorrow.
gonna say it's the devil speaking to you.
It's the dark side, the darkness.
Yeah, speaking to you. Hey,
You got to have hope and faith and self-control.
they're not gonna notice $2,000 gone.
No.
Come on, man, just take
So
I'm the
they
one that
think.
counted all this.
Right.
it. Yeah, they
I
don't even
deserve this.
they don't even know this is here.
I deserve this $2,800.
That's why they do background and credit checks when you go work for places you got to handle money. You know, they
Yeah.
want to probably make sure. Because I always wondered, like, why they did a credit. Like, I get a background check, sure, you
Yeah.
know, whatever, because that's going to show, like, whatever. But a credit check, now that I'm older, I definitely understand because you're like, hey, man, people get desperate as,
Yeah.
you know, things happen, you
Yeah.
know, to everybody. That's not, nobody's immune to that
Yeah.
at all.
Our
you know.
men's group, we take collections every week. And they were like, well, hey, we kind of need a treasurer to be over all this. Like, yeah, get me away from it. I don't want
Yeah.
anywhere near it.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
even want
Yeah.
I'll stay away from the temptation before the temptation even shows up.
It's just like you said, it. You always think you wouldn't be the person to do something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you get in
But look,
situations.
you caught red-handed
I've never done that.
embezzling all of our precious Bitcoin.
I was gonna say I
all the ones we got.
was gonna say I control all of our money.
0.01477%. I don't want to be in
Son of a
charge.
bitch right here.
I don't want to be in charge of nothing. Period. Especially money. I hate money.
y'all write that down.
I don't like it.
I'm not, yeah.
I'm not in charge of shit.
That ain't what the
I'm just a
group chat
bully.
looks
I'm
like.
just a bully. I just bulldoze.
Oh, we know.
I know.
Yeah.
We know it.
He tries.
Lord
Here
help.
we go.
We
Here we
bend a little
go.
bit just so his ego isn't crushed too hard.
Let it all out.
Yeah.
Let it all out.
You're a big boy. Get to make a bigger decisions, Josh.
Get it all out.
Yes.
I'm
What
the same
color
guy.
you want
I'm like
the
those
t-shirts?
guys that say I didn't ever do nothing, and then they're always doing some shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Y'all know I'm easy.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
okay. Y'all know I've never once in my life said I'm easy to get along with. Never, not one time. I just said I'm friendly. That ain't got shit to do with being easy to get along with.
Now he wants to be self-reflective.
I remember in high school, I got voted the senior
stubborn?
superlatives. No, I got voted friendliest, and another guy, Alan, got voted nicest.
Yeah.
Same guy
he was
from last
stuck
week.
in the
Yes,
quicksand.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, ain't that the same thing? And now that I'm older, that's nowhere near the same thing.
What was it? Nicest and what?
Friendliest.
Okay.
They're two different things.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, yeah. I'm friendly, but nice. Might be stretching it on most things, you know.
What'd you win in high school?
Class clown?
I got second class clown.
Who got first?
Will Wade.
Ah, well, it's
I got most school spirit. I was in charge of the pep squad.
Okay.
So like all the basketball games, and then we would even go to some
Pep rallies?
important baseball games. The teachers actually let me lead the pep rallies senior year. Like, I was in charge of getting all the talent together and, like, planning the pep rallies.
Oh, that's cool.
My senior year. Yeah.
Hmm.
Got in trouble one time.
For what?
Well, a bunch of kids had painted their chest to spell Wildcats, and then they had one extra person, so they put an exclamation mark on his chest.
Yeah.
And when I got, like, I was like, give me a W, and we spelled Wildcats, and then it got to the exclamation mark, and I said, give me a queer. And then the principal had to walk out of the gym. He was laughing so hard. Yeah. It's in my mind. I was like, I can't say exclamation mark right now. What can I say?
What's going to be hilarious
Yeah.
right now?
And it was, man. His mom called me afterwards, but I just hung up on her. Avoiding the conflict.
Yeah.
And that's how we get here on this couch.
Right.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
better than the casting couch.
Yeah. Well, I was close.
Yeah. I remember pep rallies, not pep rallies, but my probably junior year of high school, we were really good at basketball that year. Our girls team, back when Coach Lindsay coached.
Oh, yeah.
We were really, really good. Well, like our whole student section was on the far end of the court at the baseline. So like we would like carry newspapers in, like when they would announce the other team, we would like put these newspapers up.
Oh, okay.
Well, this guy in a grade above us, he printed off newspapers that had like some shit that wasn't supposed to be on there, like calling the other team out. Well, I remember nobody knew until the time of the game. He passed out newspapers. Like usually nobody even looked at them.
Yeah.
We opened it up and it was calling the other team like retards or the F word that is also like bread or whatever. Like what is that word?
Cigarette?
Yeah. Cigarette.
Bundle of sticks?
Bread.
Bundle of sticks. I'm sorry.
Bread.
Bundle of sticks. So he ended up getting
Faggot
escorted
is what
out of the
he's trying to
gym
say.
because everybody pinned it on him. He ended up getting escorted out of the gym. Yeah. I just remember that.
What is, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I would always wear a thong, and then during free throws, if we were behind the goal, we had this dude that was like 6'7", and I would get on his shoulders, and then the whole crowd would like put their arms around me, and we would call it the blooming flower. And then right before they shot the free throw, the flower would bloom, and then this 6'7" dude would stand up, and it was just me in a Speedo. And I was just like, I was the pistol and the stamen, baby. I was getting it.
Way better than my story. That's good. That's good. That's good. I
That's
don't
how you
ever
get
see
most school spirit.
this was after. See, he's a little bit younger than us. This
Yeah.
was, I didn't get to see none of that.
So I got most carefree.
I
So
can
I don't
see
have
that.
any really good stories because I didn't
He didn't
care.
give a fuck.
Still the same. He really is easy to get along with. He's one of them.
And funny enough, me and my dad are 30 years apart, and my dad won most carefree in '77, and I got it in '07.
Dang. In the 70s to be most carefree, that's saying something.
Yeah.
Because nobody cared.
Everybody was chilled.
Yeah, they were pissed off because they were going to start giving you tickets for drinking and driving. Can't even drink a beer on the way home.
Can't even drink a beer on the way home.
Nah.
The hell,
Soon
where's
it's going to be communist China.
we used to be a proper country. Can't even go out on lunch break and slam a tall boy.
Well, you can.
Oh,
You know, they're going to be arresting us for pot.
drinking, like when you like don't have like a high risk job, drinking it works tight. It's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. If you ain't
I'd
got to
do
worry
that.
about nothing, if you can just work by yourself, maybe even.
Yeah,
I get why painters and shit drink and stuff, you know.
Oh, I found I covered a woman's HVAC ductwork with insulation last week, and there were so many Budweiser cans from the 80s down. There's like 12 from the plumber or the
Yeah.
original HVAC guy. Who knows? But I was like, yeah, somebody had a good day.
Yeah, I used to, whenever I was still working.
Or a bad day.
Yeah. It
Whenever
might
I
have been the day his wife
It
left.
could have been. Very well
was
could
like
have been.
down there working on this damn HVAC.
Just fuck this
I know
job.
she's fucking dirt.
Fuck her.
She's at home right now.
Right, dude. I'm gonna catch her.
With a
He
wiener in
ain't
her
even
mouth.
called her yet. See, that's
Yeah.
the thing is he's like leading up to catch her.
I
He's
got
just in his head.
I got her.
Just said slinging back buds.
Just underneath the house. Just, oh,
He gets
motherfucker.
home drunk and he
This
kicks in the
bitch.
front door. Where in the fuck is he?
No, he gets home and tries not to be drunk. She's like, "You're out drinking."
No, I'm not. And now I haven't drank since
I
Tuesday.
ain't had a drink today.
It is Monday.
You smell like a brewery.
It's your upper lip.
Right.
Maybe you've been drinking, huh?
Yeah.
You've been drinking.
Gaslight them into thinking they're drunk.
Yeah.
Sounds like me back when
How many
I was
hydros did you eat today, Laura?
I remember I used to go out to the garage, like back when I was drinking heavily and I was married to my ex-wife. I would go out in the garage at nighttime and like, because I was an alcoholic. This is before I knew I was an alcoholic and I was in my mid-20s, right? I would go out to the garage at like 9 o'clock.
I'm having a good time.
Right. I go out to the garage by myself when my family's in the house and just chug beers. I should have known. Like, this isn't normal, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why am I doing this? Like, I didn't have to hide it or nothing, but I knew that I shouldn't be drinking 3 beers at 9 o'clock at night, so I didn't want to do it in front of her because she would have said something, right? So I would go out there and slam and be like, I just went and grab me a Coca-Cola. What was them 3 pops out there? I don't know. I was opening tennis ball cans. Picking up tennis.
She goes out there and he's pouring beer into a funnel.
Funneling a beer myself. Just trying to get hammered.
Get him in quicker.
Because you know, like when you chug a beer, like your eyes like will kind of almost like fucking water a little bit. Like you'll go in and people know you've been chugging something. Like
You go
your whole face is red. He's like, God.
out of breath.
Outside, just shotgunning
I
beers.
got caught up in the roundup outside.
Shotgunning beers in the garage alone.
Yeah, alone. And I thought that was normal.
Where did we leave?
It's not normal.
It's not
when
normal.
we left Kill Tony the other day, we were walking down the street and there was these 2 young kids and they were shotgunning beers. They had their car doors open trying to hide. And I heard, and I looked over, one of them had their phone showing a picture to the other boy, and he said, January 26th, look, right there. And that's my birthday.
Yeah, he said.
So
Been funny if he said
So I was
January
like-
6th.
So for
right
some
here.
reason, I couldn't stop myself. I was like, "That's my birthday," and he said, "No fucking way! Come shotgun a beer with us." I was like, "I can't, brothers. I'm sober."
retired. I'm retired.
Yeah.
dude. Y'all will be there one day. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
Fucking
enjoy
it, dude.
Got it, boys.
Joy, you gotta slow down sometime.
Don't ever try to figure up how much money you've spent on
No,
beer.
God, no.
I've got
No.
$200 grand in legal fees and totaled vehicles.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, lost wages. I had to.
lost wages. permanent stain on my reputation.
Oh,
Fucking money ain't nothing.
yeah, 2 fucked up kids.
Right.
No, I had to sit down and tally it all up with a counselor one time.
Gee.
And this was like before my last arrest, and it was already at 120. Yeah. So I was like, 5 years later, let's pack another 80 on
That's
that.
when you look into the counselor and say, "We've all been there, huh?" He's like, "No, we've
Nope,
not.
sure
We
haven't.
have
Believe
not."
it or not, no.
That's what maybe I remember. Like really, like I've always been kind of self-aware, but like except for situations like that, I mean, I just kind of chalk that up as just not knowing better or being dumb, right? Being in denial. But I remember like really like getting into rehab and sitting in a room with people that were like me, and I was like, dude, I am a piece of shit. Sometimes, not all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like it really kind of just opened. Like, dude, why did I do that? These people definitely knew I was full of shit. You know what I mean? Like. I'm an idiot. I looked so stupid so many times.
And ladies and gentlemen, if any of this is seeming familiar, the sadness and sorrow, let me just introduce you to Jesus. Because that boy helped me out of when I needed it the most.
Yeah.
Boy, I think I've told y'all this before. I had a
Higher
friend,
power, for sure.
I have a friend, and she's been sober now for 5 or 6 years. I think she's either a year less than you or a year
Right around. At the
Yeah,
same time.
it's within a year of
She's
Josh.
probably doing better than Josh.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean she's high up
just
at
wanted to put
Habitat
you
for
down.
Humanity now. But I remember like supporting her whenever she first started trying to get sober and going to like AA meetings with her, and like those stories were shocking.
Well, yeah, we talked about the other day. Like, you don't
Yeah.
realize, like, not to like shame anybody else.
Yeah, I'm not
We don't
sh-
want to do that, but
Yeah.
you know, everybody has their own rock bottom.
Yeah,
You know, everybody does, and you may think, you know, like somebody else that does something like way worse in your mind. It may not be that way to them. Like we're all have our own personalities and our own nature.
Yeah.
So like, you
Yeah.
know,
I could have went way deeper down into the depths.
oh
you
yeah,
know?
I could have too,
Thank-
but I was just ready for a change.
Thank
Yeah.
God I pulled out when I did.
I thank God for Christy. That's who helped me a bunch. I mean, she just gave me not that I went myself, like pushed myself, but I knew she was there as a support system. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I have a good family too, but you know, you just need it's different when you have like a
partner.
significant other
yeah.
that you know is in your corner for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause then you
gives
can feel like you can do
accountability.
anything.
Yeah.
because you feel like you can do anything then if you got who's at home with you and who you choose to share your life with. You know, if they back you a lot of times, you feel like you can almost do anything.
Yep.
And that's true. That's real.
That's the truth.
That's real. That's what I've learned in adulthood. That's about the most important thing. Is to surround yourself with people that support you and you support.
And you did 30 days, right?
I did 30, yeah. 30 days.
Felt
I
like
could have done
31.
28, but I stayed at 30. They was going to cut me loose at 28.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, let's go ahead. I've never committed to nothing in my life. Let's
That's
go
just
ahead and
2
do
more
this.
days.
2 more days. That was rough because then I knew I could go home. I was like, oh, God, I'm ready to get out of here, dude. I'm sick of this dude snoring in this room with me.
Yeah.
That's the worst part for me is like I'm not very good with communal living. Like I never lived with dudes. You know what I mean? Like I went straight from my parents' house to me and my ex-wife living together, and that's all I knew. Like I never lived with other dudes. I never partied like that. I never stayed at my buddy's house as an adult. I never did that. So like that was the hardest adjustment to me is living in an apartment with 5 other strangers and dudes are very typically pretty messy.
Yeah.
Especially 5 dudes in recovery. You know what I mean? So like that's what drove me nuts is just how messy a lot of people were and how they just did not give a shit about nothing in the house. And then you realize, hey, a lot of these guys don't want to be here,
Yeah.
like I do. So, you know, I just had to like compartmentalize myself and just focus on getting myself better. But at the same time, they want you to help everybody else too.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. But yeah, just that adjustment. That and like the guy that I got put when I first got there, it was like snowing. It was February 2021. We had a bunch of snow that year, if anybody remembers. But like the day I got there, there was like 8 inches of snow on the ground. So like they're like, hey, you're handicap, so we don't want you out here walking on this shit because we get sued. You know, something could happen.
Yeah.
So they had these apartments off of campus that these people stayed in. So like, we're going to put you in these apartments. You know, usually when you first get here, you stay a week in the dorms here on the campus, and then we see where you can go. If you can go over here, but they're like, we're going to go ahead and put you over there because you're like, you don't have like, you're not violent or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not court order.
Right. So like I get over there, like I'm nervous as hell, dude. Like I'm like, dude, this is pretty scary.
First day at summer camp.
Yeah, first day, you know. So like I get there and like everybody's super nice. Well, like I lucked out because the house I was in, there was only 3 people. So like I had my own room for like the first 3 or 4 days I was there.
Yeah.
So we get out that day and like, Josh, you need to move or go to your like room and pack up all your stuff. We're going to be moving you today to your permanent house for like the next 20 days or whatever. Yeah, we got you sorted out. It's like, all right. So I get there, dude, and the roommate they put me in, because where they were 2 bedrooms upstairs and 1 bedroom downstairs. So they always put either old guys or people that were like crippled downstairs on the main floor.
Yeah.
So they put me in there. Well, the dude they put me with was like 62 years old, just got out of prison 20 years.
God.
Been in prison 20 years and was like transitioning back in. Like he wasn't there for nothing violent. He was there for like cooking meth and shit and like selling meth and like repeat offender shit.
But he wasn't there. He was just there like halfway housewise. Not
Yeah, halfway
necessarily
housewise.
for
But he had
rehab.
to do a mandatory amount of time before he could transition into like, I guess like
Real life.
real life.
Yeah.
So I remember like, dude, I was scared to death when I found that out. 'Cause I
This
was,
dude's buffer.
so yeah, so I was like, all right, so I get in there and I'm expecting some guy like Wes's size. Like I don't know what I'm going to expect. This dude's been in prison in Florida for 20 years,
Yeah.
but he lived in Hopkinsville, so he was like coming back to Kentucky like to live.
Yeah.
And he was just a little bitty old man, probably like 5'2", farted all night in his sleep. But that was the worst part about him, dude. He would go to sleep like 8 o'clock, and we stay up till 10 or 10:30 because like lights out was at 11. So
Yeah.
we would stay up bullshitting because everybody else in there was our age. So we're
Yeah.
just in there bullshitting. I remember going in that room and opening the door, and it smelled like a fart coughing, dude. It would just hit me in the face. And I'm like, dude, this old man's been here farting for 2 hours. And I remember laying down and just being like this. Like, God almighty. And I hear like, every like 30 minutes. He'd roll over and grumble and shit. And I'm like, God.
Dude, on the way out here, I said, Josh, do you want to see my car? Do a impression of your mom. And I squirted the windshield wiper fluid. And then we passed
A
a skunk at the same exact time. I was like, God, it smells like her out here too.
I said, this dude's getting bricked up. Driving down the road.
It's like she's really here.
He had to pull over.
Oh, man.
Was there anything else that happened at the you're up all night thing? Did you tell any jokes?
Oh.
I
Jokes
wish
and
I
all
had.
that?
I don't know where my damn index cards
I
went,
have the
but-
footage of
Oh,
him.
do you?
I'll
That's
share it to
fun.
the Facebook page, guys, of him running out on the stage, not the stage, the court floor.
Let's see. Oh, I worked in a Holocaust joke
Okay.
It's always
during the
good.
interview portion, I went up to one kid and I said, recently on a podcast, you were quoted saying that you didn't believe the Holocaust happened. What are some of your other favorite conspiracy theories? And what was another question? I asked one real flamboyant kid who the hottest teacher was in school. That got a big pop from the crowd when he answered that. Yeah. And
What if he said, none of these but you, big boy?
yeah.
He
One
said,
kid-
I'm graduated now.
One kid came out there and twerked his ass off, and I said, "This is what you get when you've had 18 years of flaming hot Cheetos for breakfast every morning."
Listen, when I tell you that, I said, this is what it's like when you have these are the results of having too much fluoride in the water.
Yeah. They're turning the frogs gay.
They are
Yeah.
turning frogs gay. That's true, right?
Yeah.
Alex Jones.
Hey, Jay.
Hey,
It's
Jay.
true.
My dog. I ain't heard nothing about him in a long time.
Well,
He's still he lost a lot of weight, and there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, he's been
On crack.
compromised." Like they put a clone of him out there because he
No compromise.
Yeah. because he looks way different. Like because he lost a lot of
I'd be
weight.
hard to clone. They have to really work at it.
Yeah, because somebody's leg
Yeah,
off.
they have to find somebody that's already.
Yeah.
I wonder, dude.
See,
If they're-
Josh shows up one day and his
Dang.
prosthetics on the other
Yeah.
side instead of the left
Yeah.
side. We're like,
Plastic-
hold on.
Plastic surgery is easy to talk someone into, but we're
Cutting
gonna have to
shit
take your
off,
leg
yeah,
if you
cutting
want to
some
be
shit.
Josh Harrington.
And
we're gonna
above
have
knee too.
Yeah.
Not you got to lose your knee.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But either way, I mean, he still does his daily
I mean,
wire
but-
thing. You know?
knees go with time too.
Knees and
So-
toes. That's true. That is true. I'll
Yeah.
never have to have a knee replaced. This knee's be in bad shape.
so
It's already
maybe,
hurting.
Maybe you're all for the better.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there.
Or anywhere.
Anywhere.
Is it anywhere?
Where?
Where would you like to be right now?
I'm where I want to be.
What? So hold on before you get.
I'd like to be doing this in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
I said,
I was thinking somewhere else.
Let's go do it at
I seen all them
Mar-a-Lago.
thinking about the trip to get there.
I
You're
know.
not
I
looking
seen all them
forward to.
inclines and declines that trip you went on. I
You
don't have
have
no.
to do anything.
I want to be down that beach down
I'll
at the flat.
get you there.
Down at the flat.
I'll
Oh, I'm
get
sure you will.
I'll get you.
How many jokes you figure you like? What kind of minutes did you do? You do 5 minutes, 10 minutes a total?
I mean, the whole thing was
Hour.
an hour. Yeah.
And you were talking. You were emceeing the
Yeah,
whole
I mean,
time.
I went horse. So
Yeah.
it was long enough to go horse.
The way you were hollering when you first come out, you
was
were
hooting and
hoarse the
hollering.
first 5 minutes.
Yeah. I was really proud. I had a power slide that I was super
I seen it.
proud
I've
of.
got that.
Yeah.
That's going to be. You'll see
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
You'll see it.
Where are we gonna move that into? We're gonna put that in here at the end of the episode.
I
What
was
we
going to
gonna-
post it on the Facebook page for sure, just
Yeah.
a separate
Yeah.
clip. But I'm sure he's got it, so he can put it in there. I don't know.
It'd be
I don't
fun
edit.
to-
I'm just audio.
He'll do it. He's
I
not,
don't-
he's not even audio.
I don't even do
might-
none of that
well,
shit. I graduated.
Tomorrow night, I might have to head to Wes's house.
We
and
all
might
have our
to-
strengths.
We might have to edit together, or I could just go to Tutley's house and we could edit. Like me and Tutley can mash all those clips together
And send it to him.
and send it.
You're going to do it tonight because I'm going to edit tonight.
You have to hurry up.
Ian's
It's
gonna
not going to happen.
I'm gonna go.
Tut's
home
in
with
Tut's in like Cleveland. Or
He's in
something.
Minnesota. He's in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
I'm
Yeah.
going home with Wes tonight to fucking mash together.
I'll just mash it together. So it'll be a big
He's
deal.
got it, dude. He's got it, man.
Oh, don't
Just
wanna,
relax.
I don't want to put all this work onto Wes.
You're not.
on
He
his
said he
own.
can do
Yeah,
it.
Tutley sent it to me yesterday or today. One.
He might just want to do it in peace and quiet.
Maybe I want to help. Maybe I want to. Okay, I
You
get
don't
it.
need one of
I
us
get
up
it.
underneath him.
I
I
get
was
it.
supposed to say here at the end of the episode. Now I'm thinking like maybe I do need a drink today.
Well, if I'm going to your house, I'm relapsing too.
Earlier, I was.
Welcome to the 2025 Friday graduation Womanless Fashion Show! Welcome to the Soccer Party! This is Lena Lynch, part-time heartbreaker, full-time snack enthusiast. Her hair is colorful like her content. In her spare time, Lady enjoys barefoot walks and being outside with her wiener dog again. All in all, Lady loves two things, weed and women.
Fired up. I got just ramped up after lunch, and Chrissy said, "You got to calm down." She goes, "I just can't." today. I was like, what do you mean today? I was like, it's how I am every day. Because I know. I said, Nick will be here soon.
We had the loudest conversation in the county on the way out here.
Oh, for sure. Dude, I was fired up.
Yeah. I was ready to see my little
Thyroid
buddy.
medication's
I was
working,
ready to
boys.
see my little buddy.
Yeah, dude. I get fired up. I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited about today.
I'm just coming off of like my stomach being all in a tizzy the last few days.
I had it Sunday night, dude. I told him Monday. We talked Monday morning. I said, dude, I don't know what happened to me. I said, I woke up at 4:00 this morning, and I thought I was looking up where your appendix is at. My shit was hurting so bad.
Yeah.
I've never had pain that bad in my life, and I was like, what did I eat? And I realized I'd fixed a tuna melt at like 10 o'clock in the air fryer on Sunday night, and I ate it super fast, like sober. Like I wouldn't even drink. I was like, I
Like
want
a
tuna
golden
melt.
retriever.
Yeah, I scarfed it down. I was like, maybe that tuna was a little off. You know, maybe something was
Didn't
a little
even
off.
taste it.
No, I didn't. It was good.
Yeah, I was feeling like over here, like underneath my left rib, and
That's
I was
your
like,
colon.
what is what? And I mean, I was googling it. I was like, why is this hurting right now? And it wasn't like hurting. It was just like a mild throb. I
Dull
guess.
ache.
Yeah.
They call that.
Colin's $15,000 in Mexico.
I thought it was my
I
liver.
need one of them.
I thought
Your
for
liver.
sure it was
It's in
my
the
li-
middle.
Yeah.
Liver's more in the middle.
I thought for sure if there was something that was going bad in there, it was definitely my liver.
And your
or-
pancreas is behind that.
Yeah, pancreas.
Y'all know
Because-
what the pancreas does?
It's
its most
a
important
immune
function?
system.
Insulin.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Insulin. It also creates enzymes to digest food. I never knew that. I just thought it was there, you know.
Because one of those things in there does a lot for your immune system, but it's something that you
That's
can.
your gut. 75% of your gut's your immune system.
There's something you can like. I think you can live without your pancreas.
Spleen.
Spleen.
Spleen. You can't live without you can't live without your pancreas.
Okay.
You gotta have it.
Spleen and your appendix.
Pancreas is what got old Patrick Swayze. You remember him?
Oh yeah.
Pancreas.
R.I.P.
His brother lives in Franklin.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
a
we
wrestler.
talked about that.
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful Bruce,
Beautiful
right?
Bruce.
Yeah.
Is that a Daytona?
No.
No, it's not. I like it. It's just a chronograph.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's
Welcome to Josh and Wes's Watch Talk.
yeah. This is the solar powered one.
Watch World. Watch World. Everybody wind up your Rolexes. It's time to put energy into your clock timekeeper.
We do need a kind of a new little segment. Y'all got anything y'all can think of?
Oh,
I've really
what about?
You want to get into that before
Yeah.
we end this episode
All
up?
right.
You're gonna play it. We'll
Let's see
guess.
what happens. All right, we got our kids charades here. I thought I would act some stuff out and see if you could guess what I'm doing.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna watch.
Here comes the first card.
All right. Are you gonna act right there where people can see you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do we got to raise our hand? Is that who gets to go first? Do we just raise our hand?
No, you just say it out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, just,
all right.
I was gonna
I've
say,
never
I don't think
played.
We're winning or losing.
YMCA.
Clock. Watch.
Clock, Wesley. Good job. It
Watch
was
is just a
clock.
little clock.
It was a clock. And you know, if you're
I don't feel like you're
listening on
looking towards
Spotify-
me. I think you're looking more towards Wes. I can't
Okay.
see.
If you're listening on Spotify, this should entice you to get on over to YouTube. Give us a watch.
That's Fine by Me podcast.
Fine by Me
is the channel.
podcast.
Like, share, subscribe. They have been listening. We got more subscribers. We have 8 more subscribers in the past week, so they've been listening.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Gorilla,
A
football
cat.
player.
A cat.
Milking yourself.
Milking a cow.
Milking a cat.
That's 2 for Wesley.
I have nipples, Greg.
That's 2 for Wesley. All right, last one.
I thought you were making biscuits or something, like
Like a
cats
cat?
do. Yeah.
Oh, this is one of my favorites.
Doing cocaine.
Okay.
Sniffing.
Stiffen.
Straw.
Yeah, straw.
Straw.
Ah, rolled up 100.
Dollar bill. $20 bill.
And that was Super Charades.
That was a speed round of charades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For kids.
For kids.
And I love speed.
Oh.
Dude,
What is speed? Is that meth?
Speed was
meth? I think. I think
yeah,
it's just
and
meth.
like
It's a good
I've
movie.
talked about
Keanu
him-
Reeves.
I've talked about him before. He'll never hear this, but like Uncle Larry, my buddy's real rich uncle, he's always real big against pot and against all these drugs and stuff like that. But he's like, yeah, back in the 70s when I went to Western, I was selling speed. I was like, you were selling meth?
Speed.
Yeah, you think you're better than all us?
Speed.
Fuck you, Larry.
I I don't know about a new segment, but there was one that we kind of abandoned, and that was not Fine by Me.
Oh yeah, dude. I've got actually some of those written down.
I see the logo that we made in my little folder,
I see it too.
and I'm like,
You got
man,
anything on the top of your head that's kind of irking your biscuits? Maybe clinging around the old sourpuss inside of you?
Oh, I'm trying to think of something worth talking about. There's all sorts of stuff. They don't want to hear me bitching about everything though.
yeah, I don't.
Something
I
about
can't-
all those that group of people that
No, it's nothing about
No.
any groups of people. Unless we're in traffic. No, nothing
Women.
off the top of my head. Actually, dude, I've actually been pretty even keeled lately.
Pretty
I've been
positive.
working on it, dude. I've really been trying. Like I was telling Nick earlier, I try every day because I can be a sourpuss. It's just my nature.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I like it. I like a little bit of misery.
I think it's human nature to
It
be.
is. I think it is. And also, it's just, I'm very realistic with things a lot of times. Sometimes I just see things for how they are. So I'm just, you know.
Yeah.
But I've been
like
trying.
Chloe ran, or not Chloe, but Christy ran over a
Yes,
turtle.
dude. We went to town earlier
and
for
Josh
lunch
didn't care.
and come home. I cared. On the way home, we live on a county road, so it's been raining a lot. There was a little box turtle crossing the road, and it was in a curve. It was a terrible spot, so we couldn't even get out to move it without risking our own life.
Yeah.
So she did everything she could to hit that turtle, not on purpose, but she was trying to get around it, and God bless her heart, dude. She just ran over it with the back driver's side tire, and he felt it.
Yeah.
He immediately started crying, and I'm just like, it's just a turtle, dude. I was like,
Do you think she still listens anymore?
no,
No,
not this
thank
late in the
goodness.
episode.
No,
We're
okay.
an hour in.
I was about to apologize for bringing it up. I felt bad about bringing it
I
up. But
feel
now
bad. She's a
yeah.
good. She's got a good heart, dude, and I love her for it. But I was just like, I got home and I didn't say nothing else about it. And she was like wiping tears from her eyes, and I got out of the car and I said, "Well, one thing's for sure." She goes, "What?" I said, "That ninja ain't gonna be doing, or that turtle ain't gonna be doing karate today." And she just said, "Oh God, it was in the house." I said, "You may have saved them from having to, some old rat from having to mentor this turtle."
Yeah. A life full of violence.
Yeah, you just saved a turtle a
Yeah.
life full of violence. But
Snapping.
it was a
snapping
little
evil
bitty
villains.
turtle, man.
Yeah.
It sucked. I mean, I hate it, but it's.
I mean, I've definitely hit one that I didn't see and like felt very bad about it. I mean, I wasn't about to cry over it, but I was like, "This sucks. I don't like hitting animals. I try to
No,
like squirrels.
Yeah, it
and
sucks, dude.
Even any of that stuff. Like if I can avoid it, I'm gonna try to.
we've got a squirrel in our yard that's the size of this dog, dude. It's the biggest squirrel I've ever seen. It is enormous. Like I thought it was like what's those animals out west? Prairie dog.
Yeah.
I thought it was a prairie dog. I said, "What is this big ass animal in this tree?" And it was a squirrel. I said, "This is like the grandpa of all these squirrels. He's just eating everybody's food."
That
Getting-
squirrel's so big, he's probably eating other squirrels.
It was like a cat. It was like a cat-sized squirrel. It was enormous. Of course, it's all tail. It's this huge tail.
Yeah.
But it looked enormous.
I'll never forget coming home from school one day, and none of my parents were home, and Buddy had came home with me
He
that
said,
day. And,
Nobody's home.
Nobody's home lighting the candles.
Heard
that
Drawing a
drum?
bath.
Heard that
man,
drum?
we got in the house, and then I don't know. I went back outside to get something,
Yeah.
and there was this groundhog just in our carport, and I swear it was standing like 3 feet tall.
They can get big.
And I was like, "What the hell is that thing?" And I was like, probably 13,
And they're
12.
retarded. Them animals are retarded.
Yeah, I was really young, and in the country in me said, "I gotta shoot this thing."
Yeah.
So I ran inside and got my 410 and lit that thing up.
Golly. Blasted his ass.
And then, but by the time my dad got home, it was gone. And I went over there and checked it. The thing was dead, so something came and grabbed it immediately, basically.
Damn buzzards move quick around here.
Yeah.
We got one out there. Y'all ever heard Bill Murray tell a story about that groundhog from Groundhog's Day? In character as Punxsutawney Phil.
Let's do it. Let's
Well,
hear
the
it.
first day he got bit bad. Like had to go get like 5 stitches.
Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Damn, I
So
bet he
the
was
second
pissed.
day he wore steel gloves underneath his leather gloves, and it still bit him and broke skin.
Damn.
Yeah.
And he said, "Who's in charge of training this groundhog?" He said,
Training
this
to
real
bite
rough
me.
dude come around. He said, "You can't train this thing any better." He said, "We just trapped it 2 weeks ago. And y'all brought a wild groundhog in here.
I'm holding this thing
Yeah.
by the back of its
I'm
neck.
letting him drive a truck."
We just trapped it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
God, I can see you having a job like that, like being like a consultant on a movie set that's like in charge of explosives and wild animals. Like, yeah, we need a skunk tomorrow. Like, all right, call Nick.
Yeah.
You'll
You
find
show
one.
up in the cage on a sheet. Like, I just got this tonight. I don't know what it's gonna be.
It's limping.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like, where'd you
opening
get
the
thi-
thing, and
where'd
it's
you
all
get this
y'all.
skunk? I hit it last night. I drove around all night looking for, and I hit this one.
Yeah, I got a truck.
Yeah,
and it
this
wouldn't
is
come
actually
to
the third one. The first two died. This one I just got his back leg.
Yeah, I got him in stents.
Aren't skunks like a raccoon or whatever? If you get them young enough, you can like domesticate them.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're fantastic animals.
You can like
yeah.
take the scent glands out of
Yeah.
them, and like
Mhm.
they're like cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee, I've said this many times, has real relaxed
Wild
exotic
animal.
animal laws.
Yeah, we do
And-
not.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have a lot of relaxed
We
laws.
can't
anyway.
have foxes in Kentucky.
Well, the foxes will eat your face off.
Well, foxes are the same thing. You get them
Foxes
young enough, you
be
can train them.
domesticated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the longest snout.
I will say they're like bigger ferrets. Almost.
I think a fox is like
So he can tickle your prostate.
a fox is like a cat inside of a dog's body.
Yeah.
Like how they act. Like they're
That's
very
kinda-
quick, and like reflexes and stuff are good.
Yeah. But they say that they spray bad.
Foxes.
Yeah, so
like mark their territory.
Yeah.
Oh, with their piss
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Like
not
cats do
an
that too.
Indoor.
Cats.
Animal.
Well, don't you just can't you get that taken care of?
Well, it's where they pee from, isn't it? Isn't it
Yeah,
just
it's
pee?
probably like,
Like a male cat does the same thing though.
well, but they're
Well,
supposed to
all of them
stop
pee.
when you castrate them. They're supposed to
Clip
stop
'em,
marking
yeah.
their territory.
They don't.
But right, and
Foxes
probably
definitely
the
ain't.
Same for foxes.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't want to
Well,
get
it's
them
just
around the hen house.
Like dogs or whatever. They're supposed to calm down whenever you fix them, and that
Didn't
doesn't
work on
happen.
Nick either.
Yeah, doesn't happen a lot of
Yeah.
times.
You didn't calm down one bit.
No,
If anything, you went
I'm
the
still
other
going
way.
strong, baby.
I
Confident
heard.
as
So
ever.
is this true? I heard that after you get a vasectomy, you have to bust 20 loads before it's like clean. Like they have to like test your semen, but you have to like ejaculate a certain amount of times before you can have like unprotected sex.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that
That's what I'm serious. That's a real thing I heard.
I don't know about 20 loads. They didn't tell me that. I had to go.
He said, "Don't put a number on it.
I had to take
Don't put
in-
a number
Yeah.
on it." It
I'll
was
be-
a lot.
I'll be done by tomorrow.
I was cranking them things out, dude.
I know they told me 12 days, and I didn't last 3.
They figured you'd bust 20 times in 12 days. That's what it was. It's
Yeah.
this guy. He's gonna, as soon as he gets the clear go ahead that he can grab that thing, he's going to go to town on it.
I think after like
Ah!
it was probably a month. They wanted me to bring in a sample, and so I brought it in.
20
and I
loads.
said, "Here you go." And they said, "All right, bring us another one next week." And I said, "You mean I got to do this in the parking lot again?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Yeah, in my truck out there." I said, "Y'all ain't got nowhere in here to do it." She said, "You're supposed to do it at home." I said, "Well, you
I
told
thought
me
you
I
wanted
had 30
fresh.
minutes, and I live 40 minutes away.
She's-
So what do you want?"
She said, still warm.
Yeah, should be about body temperature.
It's fresh, dude. I want to make sure it's mine. You know, like
Yeah.
like with the damn drug test, they got to make sure it's the right temperature. Like it's
Yeah.
fresh.
That was 5 minutes ago.
Why is it so warm?
It's 5 minutes old.
Bring it in. Like, why is it so warm? They're like, ooh, drop the cup. There's shit on the outside of the cup. God, they walk in, shit dripping from your thumb.
Oh, God.
You lick it off.
Oh my God.
Shit in your hair. Like, I was holding this all week till I got here. I had to wait all week. Like, why do you wait? Like, I thought I had to do it here.
Yeah, I thought I had to fill it up to the line.
I do. Mine. Like the same cup over and over. Like, why is it so full? Like, I've been using the same cup all week.
Like, oh, we accidentally gave you a drug test cup.
I know
Yeah.
people have been bringing some gross shit in there. You know, people like don't get like the assignment they like to do.
Have
Yeah.
you ever had to bring in a stool sample?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Have you?
Once a year.
What do you
It's
do?
gross.
How do you do that?
It's they give you like this like top hat looking thing you set in the toilet that like sets on the seat to like where you don't shit in the water, and they give you rubber gloves and like these little vials, and you shit in that thing, and you just take a Q-tip and you swab it and you drop it in that thing and turn the top off. And you flush your shit.
There's some colon diseases.
That's it.
There's some colon diseases where they take healthy feces,
Yeah, it's a
grind
fecal
it up in a
transplant.
blender, and put it into an unhealthy colon, and
I've-
then you poop out someone else's.
I've had one done before.
That's wild.
You got a wild life.
I had it done in
You had a-
2017.
you
Whenever
had a-
you're shitting blood every day, you do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
I would have pooped for you, buddy. I've got a great.
They take super hell. Like it's not like some guy just comes and shits and like, hey, shove this shit in your butthole.
He makes eye contact with you.
Like that episode of South Park, the fecal transplant. I don't know if you ever seen it before, but like they're begging like I think Kyle's mom to like shit so like, they can get some video game or something. And so like Cartman, like Kyle won't do it. So Cartman goes to Kyle's house and he's like trying to like in the basement trying to like unscrew the cap on the clean out and trying to wait till the mom shit so he can catch her shit and like get it for a fecal transplant.
Man, those guys.
You
You know how exhausting it must be to have to be that creative to like come out with every episode is brilliant.
Have you ever watched the making of South Park? It's like 6 days till showtime is what it's called or something. And like they start like on like they take Sunday off, but Monday they're there like forever. And it's like these writers like Bill Hader and of course Trey Parker, Matt Stone, a bunch of other comedians like that we know, and they just sit there till they got an episode.
Yeah,
like they're there for hours and hours.
It's the same way Saturday Night Live works too.
Yeah.
I watched that the documentary, not the documentary, but the movie about the first episode.
Okay,
I watched it on the plane.
Yeah, what's it called? Saturday Night.
Yeah, it was great.
It was like 1975, maybe. Yeah.
Because this is the 50th year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be.
I was listening to an old comedy set. I can't remember the dude's name, but Doug Stanhope put it on his.
Love Stanhope.
But he put it on his YouTube page, and I guess it was a guy that he used to. Henry Phillips, I think, was the dude's name. It's a comedian, and he was the third. Well, I don't know, it was 45 minutes or so, and it was pretty funny. But he mentioned in his set, hey, do y'all remember? And this was like from the year 2000, I think, or 2001 is whenever this was recorded. And he was like, do you guys remember the show Scared Straight that was on in the 70s?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was...
That old?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember because Scared Straight was like an MTV
I remember
show.
Jerry Springer. That like those people would come out, like those same people would come out, and they started. Like I thought it was like a spinoff from Jerry Springer, like those like drill sergeants or whatever that would come out. Like I didn't know it was that old of a show.
Yeah, apparently Scared Straight started in the 70s. He even explained, he was like, they take the kids that are bad and take them to jail.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
We've had two different families from Franklin that have been on Jerry Springer. I can't remember the second one, but the first one was this emo kid named Matt. I forgot his last name.
The other one was a gal my age. They called her Pookie.
Oh, I remember Pookie.
But yeah, she was on there.
Her boyfriend Curtis got in a fight with Trey one time.
Yeah.
And she came in and like ripped out Trey's earring. Yeah, like she was swinging.
Savage.
This woman was rough.
Yeah, dude. She's cool though.
But Matt got on there because his mom, he was a white kid, emo as hell.
Yeah.
His mom was dating a black dude, and he didn't like it. And he got on there and he said, if it ain't white, it ain't right. And you should have seen the YouTube comments.
I'm clipping that.
About.
That's getting clipped. That's a bit. Hey, if anybody wants to clip that, send it to me.
You should have seen the YouTube comments from people in Franklin. Like in Harristown is our black community.
Yeah.
And dude, it was like never
African American
step foot in Harristown ever again.
Ever. We better not see your ass at Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah. Man.
Oh, boys. All right. Well, I think we're going to close this one out now, huh?
Yep. Just when the fun starts. We better get off here. We don't want to give you too much. We can't go all the way. Got to give you just a little bit.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Please do. And if you can think, what would you like for us to talk about? Segments you may want us to see come up. We appreciate everybody listening and watching. And just stay tuned.
You know what I want to see? I want to see us read some comments.
Yeah, dude.
I'd like to see
good
us read some
comments. Whatever.
So maybe Tuesday. That'll be in the month of June, whatever that is. That might be the
June 3rd.
2nd or
it's
3rd.
The 3rd.
Yeah. Tuesday, after we get everything set up, we're gonna go through YouTube and we'll go through Facebook and stuff, and we'll read some comments on here, and we'll read your name.
Yeah.
And we will comment on your comment live and in action, baby.
We'll comment together.
Turtle Man.
There'll be some commentary for sure.
Oh, rest in peace, Phil Robertson.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Bless up.
I saw somebody posted the Babylon Bee posted, Phil Robertson arrives to heaven with 12 million angry ducks waiting for him.
I posted a picture of Charles Manson that said, rest in peace, Phil Robertson.
That's funny.
It was funny. I got some shit about it from some other people on my Facebook page. But hey, whatever, dude.
It's comedy.
Guess what? Charles Manson was a Christian too in 2014.
Yeah.
He's up there with Phil,
Yep,
right?
that's true.
So that's been another episode.
Pure in his heart.
Well, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
Another
that's
episode.
between him and the Lord.
The Lord.
And this has been Fine
By
by
me.
Me.
Thanks for listening, watching, like, share, subscribe. We'll
Let
see
them-
you
they've
next
got
week.
Shit to do. Let them go.
Dubby. What's the other place?
Oh, Twisted Sisters
Sisters.
Nutrition. Get you a tea, $1 off if you mention Fine by Me podcast. You heard it here, folks.
Take it easy, fellas. Love ya.
Yes, fellas, for
West